2 Kings chapter 25. And it came to be in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th new moon, on the 10th of the new moon, that Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, and all his army came against Jerusalem, and encamped against it. And they built a siege wall against it all around. And the city was besieged until the 11th year of sovereign Sidkiyahu. By the 9th of the new moon, the scarcity of food had become so severe in the city that there was no food for the people of the land. Then the city was well breached, and all the men of battle fled at night by way of the gate between two walls, which was by the sovereign's garden, even though the Casdim were still encamped all around against the city, and the sovereign went by way of the desert plain. And the army of the Casdim pursued the sovereign, and overtook him in the desert plains of Jericho, and all his army was scattered from him. And they seized the sovereign, and brought him up to the sovereign at Babel, at Riblah, and they pronounced sentence on him. And they slew the sons of Sidkiyahu before his eyes, and put out the eyes of Sidkiyahu, and bound him with bronze shackles, and took him to Babel. And in the 5th new moon, on the 7th of the new moon, which was the 19th year of sovereign Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, Nebuzaradan, the chief of the guard, a servant of the sovereign of Babel, came to Jerusalem. And he burned the house of Yahuwah and the house of the sovereign and all the houses of Jerusalem. Even every great house he burned with fire. And all the army of the Casdim, who were with the chief of the guard, broke down the walls of Jerusalem all around. Nebuzaradan, the chief of the guard, took into exile the rest of the people who were left in the city, and the deserters who deserted to the sovereign of Babel, with the rest of the multitude. But the chief of the guard left some of the poor of the land as vine dressers and farmers. And the bronze columns that were in the house of Yahuwah, and the stands, and the bronze sea that were in the house of Yahuwah, the Casdim broke in pieces, and took their bronze away to Babel. And they took the pots, and the shovels, and the snuffers, and the ladles, and all the bronze utensils the priests used in the service. And the chief of the guard took the fire holders, and the basins, which were of solid gold and solid silver. The bronze of all these utensils was beyond measure. The 2 columns, the 1 sea, and the stands, which Shalomo had made for the house of Yahuwah. The height of 1 column was 18 cubits, and the capital on it was of bronze. And the height of the capital was 3 cubits, and the network and pomegranates all around the capital were all of bronze. And the 2nd column was the same, with a network. And the chief of the guard took Sariah, the chief priest, and Zephaniah, the 2nd priest, and the 3 doorkeepers. And out of the city he took a certain eunuch, who was appointed over the men of battle, and 5 men of those who saw the sovereign's face, who were found in the city, and the chief scribe of the army, who mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land, who were found in the city. And Nebuzaradan, chief of the guard, took them and made them go to the sovereign of Babel at Riblah. And the sovereign of Babel struck them and put them to death at Riblah in the land of Hamath. So he exiled Yehudah from its own land. And he appointed Gedaliah, son of Achakim, son of Shaphan, over the people who were left in the land of Yehudah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, had left. And all the commanders of the armies, they and their men, heard that the sovereign of Babel had appointed Gedaliah, and they came to Gedaliah at Mitzpah, even Yishmael, son of Netaniah, and Yochanan, son of Kareach, and Sariah, son of Tanhumet, the Nephathite, and Yaazaniah, the son of Maakathite, they and their men. And Gedaliah swore to them and their men, and said to them, Do not be afraid of the servants of the Casdim. Dwell in the land, and serve the sovereign of Babel, and let it be well with you. And in the 7th new moon it came to be that Ishmael, son of Netaniah, son of Elishama, of the seed of the rain, came with 10 men, and struck Gedaliah, that he died, and the Yehudim and the Casdim, who were with him at Mitzpah. And all the people rose up, small and great, and the commanders of the armies, and went to Mitzrayim, for they were afraid of the Casdim. And it came to be in the 37th year of the exile of Jehoiakim, sovereign of Yehuda, in the 12th new moon, on the 27th of the new moon, that Ewil Merodach, sovereign of Babel, in the year that he began to reign, released Jehoiakim, sovereign of Yehuda, from prison, and spoke kindly to him, and set his throne above the throne of the sovereigns who were with him in Babel, and changed his prison garments, and he ate bread continually before the sovereign all the days of his life. And as his allowance, a continual allowance was given to him from the sovereign, a quota for each day, all the days of his life.